If every new AI tool makes you feel further behind, learning another tool might not be the answer. Because the goal isn't to memorize every new feature, and it's not to compete with AI and produce more words, more documents, and more information. The stronger move is developing human skills that make AI output worth using. These four items I would strengthen before chasing another tool. The first is judgment. AI can give you 10 suggestions in a few seconds. It cannot automatically know which one fits your organization, your client, your responsibilities, or the consequences of getting the wrong decision. That still requires a person who can look at an answer and say, this technically is correct, but it isn't practical. This sounds confident, but something is missing. This might work in theory, but ignores how people behave. Or, this recommendation creates a real risk the system cannot see. That ability often comes from experience. You've seen plans that look perfect on paper and failed in real life. You've watched people misread instructions that seemed completely clear to the person who wrote them. And you've learned that the correct answer and the responsible answer, well, they aren't always the same thing. AI can produce possibilities, but judgment decides which possibilities deserve action. The second skill is context. Many disappointing AI results happen because the tool was given almost no understanding of the situation. Someone who types, write an email, create a plan, tell me what to do. Then they're disappointed when the answer sounds generic. The person using AI has to supply the missing context. Who is it for? What has already happened? What is the situation? What outcome is needed? What constraints exist? What has already been tried? What tone would actually be appropriate? What must not happen? Experienced professionals often carry this context without realizing it. You understand the people behind the project. You know why the obvious answer was rejected 6 months ago. You know which person needs more explanation and which person just wants a decision. You know where all the sensitivities lie. AI doesn't automatically have access to that history like you did. The third skill is communication. AI can produce grammatically polished language, but polished isn't the same as clear. Clear communication answers 4 questions. What's happening? Why does it matter? What decision is needed? And what should happen next? That sounds basic, right? But think about how many meetings, emails, reports, and entire projects become confusing because no one answers those 4 questions directly. The professional who can turn complexity into clear next steps can become more valuable in a world where more people have access to tools that produce information. So don't focus on only writing faster. Learn to recognize what the other person needs to understand. Then use AI to help you express it clearly. The fourth skill is trust. AI can produce a recommendation. It cannot create the relationship that makes another person comfortable with acting upon it. Trust comes from consistency. It comes from being willing to say, I don't know yet. This needs to be verified. Here's the risk I think we should consider. Or, the system generated this, but I reviewed it and changed these three things. Trust grows when people know you aren't handing responsibility to a tool and then walking away. This matters, especially if you're over 40. Your advantage isn't learning every new platform the day it appears. Trying to keep pace with every release will only keep you exhausted. Your advantage is that years of work may have taught you to recognize consequences, relationships, trade-offs, and patterns that are difficult to capture in a prompt. That doesn't mean experience makes every decision correct. And it doesn't mean less experienced professionals lack these abilities. What it means is that your years of work have given you raw material to develop them if you remain willing to learn. The strongest combination isn't experience without technology, and it isn't technology without experience. It's someone who can use the modern tools without giving away the thinking that makes their work responsible and valuable. Here's a practical exercise for this week. The next time you use an AI tool, don't immediately ask whether the answer sounds good. Ask 4 better questions instead. Does this reflect the real context? What assumption is it making? How would I explain this clearly to someone else? And what do I do to verify before anyone acts upon it? Those 4 questions turn you from someone receiving an answer into someone evaluating your judgment, your context, your communication, and your ability to build trust are not outdated. They're the reason technology becomes useful instead of merely impressive. You don't need to outrun every new AI release. You need to become the person who knows how to use these tools responsibly, practically, and with a clear understanding of the people affected by the work. If you're trying to stay relevant, use AI without losing your human value, and to build competence through practical action, the Relevance Lab is linked below. And remember, you're not behind. You're just getting started.